Hello everyone, and thank you very much for attending our webinar today. This is going to be a really power-packed webinar today because we're actually going to take a look at some of the features of the Business Funding Suite. Now, maybe you've received emails, maybe you've heard of the Business Funding Suite. It's highly rated worldwide, one of the leading sources of funding in the world. Today, you're actually going to get a very exclusive, a very rare sneak peek look into some of the features of this actual business funding portal. You're actually going to get to see some of the features, see some of the benefits, see some of the technology. It's really amazing. This isn't something that we promote, that we show a lot of people very often, which is probably why we have so many people attending this webinar today. So let's go ahead and get started. The Business Funding Suite. Now, there's two main purpose or benefits to the Business Funding Suite. The first is that the Funding Suite gives you access to virtually every legitimate business funding source available today. And the Funding Suite also ensures you'll be approved for the cash and credit sources you apply with. This is the purpose. The purpose of the Funding Suite is that when people need money, they typically don't know where to go. They go to their bank, and if their bank turns them down, they're kind of at a loss. Well, the Funding Suite brings in over 30 funding products, every legitimate funding product that's available today, and we put it in one place with literally thousands of different financing sources, so it substantially raises the percentage of chance that you'll actually be approved for funding. Instead of applying or talking to one person about one of their funding products, with the Funding Suite, you're dealing with over 30 funding products and over 2,000 lenders that are involved. So you obviously have thousands of percent chance better of getting approved. And as you're going to see, the features and the benefits of the system is designed to not only give you access to money, but to make sure that you get approved for the financing that you're actually going to be applying for. Guaranteed approval. Through your Funding Suite, you'll learn the exact criteria that lenders are looking for to approve you. So what you're doing is you're getting started on a simple step-by-step, and in the beginning, you simply follow a few steps in the beginning to ensure you meet the lending requirements to secure the approval. So every aspect of your company that will be reviewed by a lender is addressed through the Funding Suite. Now, this is really phenomenal because as an applicant, when you are talking to somebody about funding or when you go to apply for funding, their criteria is kind of secret, right? I mean, very rarely, maybe never, have you ever applied and known the criteria before you apply. But really, that's how it should be. We believe you should know exactly what the criteria is. We even help you through the Funding Suite meet the exact criteria of what the lender's looking for. So that way we know before you even apply that you're going to get approved because you meet all the criteria that the lender's looking for before you even submit an application. Okay, so through the system, you're going to know exactly what the lender needs to see to approve you in a lot of areas, including state records, your tax EIN, your bank account, your business licenses, your business phone number requirements, which 411 directories you need to be listed in, business email and domain requirements. Now remember, all of these things, each one of these things that's mentioned is something separate that lenders look at when approving your application. So through the Funding Suite, we walk you through each step and make sure that you meet every criteria so you know you'll get approved. Simple example. If your corporation name isn't the same on your tax documents as your bank statement, you probably won't get approved for funding. Now the problem is, if you didn't know that, the lender would probably never tell you that was the reason for the denial. So making sure all these things are straight before you apply is important in ensuring that you get approved. Okay, they're also going to be looking at your Experian and Dun & Bradstreet and Equifax minimum requirements. They're looking at your business credit histories, your physical address, your bank ratings. And again, through the Business Funding Suite, we're walking you through each section. We make sure you understand what the lender is looking for, and we even help you meet the criteria for any reason you don't. We go through what they're looking for in regards to tax returns, public records, credit cards on your credit report, vendor credit on your business report, comparable credit, bank loans, business model. Again, everything they look at to approve you, we walk you through. We make sure you meet those criteria before you even apply. So this way, you're going to be denied if you don't meet the lending requirements. Okay, but doing this and walking you through these requirements, this way we know you'll get approved because you know the requirements before you apply. And here's another example. if you use a voice over IP service instead of a landline, and this is virtual phone line, okay? A lot of companies have switched and they use virtual phone lines because they found them more cost effective than landlines. Well, if you do this and you have a voice over IP, you might not be approved because your phone number might not be listed in the correct places. If you don't have a professional email address or bank account, or your bank account isn't set up the right way, you might not be approved. And with most applications, the lender is not even going to tell you the application was denied or the reason for the denial. You see, it's definitely different in the commercial or in the consumer world. In the consumer world, there's all kinds of disclosures, right? I mean, if you've been turned down for financing before, you know they have to notify you. They have to notify you which bureau they pulled. They have to notify you why they turned you down. Well, in the business world, none of those things apply. I mean, a lender could literally deny your application and never even tell you it was denied, let alone tell you why it was denied. Okay, they reserve every right to not tell you why you're being denied. So in this kind of environment, it's tough because if you apply and they turn you down because your bank statement isn't listed the right way or you don't have a number listed with 411, well, these are very minor things, and if you don't know these are the reasons for your denial, you may never know. So this is part of why we lay this out for you in the funding suite. We do what no one's ever done before. We actually explain to you the exact criteria of what they're looking for. We even help you meet the criteria so that way we know you'll get approved and you won't be denied. Okay, so through the funding suite, you quickly learn what the lender needs, and if you don't meet a requirement, a one-click solution is available. Okay, so that's actually what happens for you here. And by a one-click solution, I mean that let's say you don't have a physical address for your business. Well, through the system, you could actually set up a physical address, or you could get a domain, or you could register your corporation, or you could do a lot of the things that the lender needs you to do. We don't only just explain to you what the lender is looking for, we also even help you meet those criteria as you're completing the funding application. So again, when you apply, we know you're going to get approved. So you can set up a physical address, an 800 number, a fax, an email, an EIN, all through the actual funding suite. Okay, and you'll see sometimes we refer to it as a cash machine. You'll see in some of these slides. Okay, so here is an example. This is an actual snippet of a screen from the actual funding suite. And in this, we're talking about business name. We're explaining to you what the lender's looking for. We're explaining to you the difference between an LLC and a corporation and a sole proprietorship and the difference and what they want to see. We're explaining to you what they want to see in regards to DBAs. And then we're even explaining to you what they need to see in form of a physical address. So let's say you don't have a business address and you need one. Well, here in one click, right through the funding suite, you could click and get connected to a source that will set you up with a virtual office. Okay, so it's just really phenomenal because even new corporations or people that have been in business many years that don't have their business set up 100% correctly, the system walks through step by step: business name, business address, business phone number. And if you don't meet the criteria, again, a one-click solution is available, making it very easy for you to come in and meet the criteria before you even apply. Okay, the system also comes with a business credit bureau interface. Now, that means that the system actually interfaces directly with Experian, Dun & Bradstreet, and Equifax. This is a page, again, a snippet of a page from the funding suite, and this is where we're actually explaining to you how the business credit scores work. We give you a breakdown of each bureau. We explain to you the range of the scores, all those type of things, so you understand exactly how the actual business credit scores work. Then you can also integrate, or their system actually integrates directly with the business credit reporting agencies. So for example, in one click, you'll know if you have a profile reporting with the major business credit bureaus, and you'll know how many trade lines they're reporting. This is very important, what I'm about to show you, because this only exists with the funding suite. Nowhere else, anywhere, will you find this capability where you can come in and see, do you have an Experian report, for example? How many trade lines do you have reporting? Do you have a business credit score assigned to the file? Do you have a Profile Plus score? You come in, you enter your basic company's information, and in one click of a button, in maybe 5 seconds, 10 seconds, it's going to give you this information. Now, why that's so important is that this is the only place anywhere that Experian will give you that data at no cost. Whether you go anywhere else or go to Experian's website, they're going to charge you to access your business credit reports. But through the Funding Suite, this is the only place where you can come in and get this information from Experian about what's on your credit report and not pay a dime to Experian for it. Okay, again, beyond just that, you also have interfaces with Equifax, Dun & Bradstreet, and Experian where you could see your full business credit reports. Okay, so through the system, at no cost, you can come in and get basic information about what's on your credit report. You can also upgrade and decide that you want to get full reports with Experian, Dun & Bradstreet, and Equifax, and you could do so. Now, you will pay for the full reports, but they're given to you at a massive discount. The discount on these is about 70% cheaper than you would pay going to the source directly. So that means if you want your Dun & Bradstreet full credit report, you can get that through the system and get it about 70% cheaper than Dun & Bradstreet would even charge you. But keep in mind, you don't have to. This information about a basic overview of what's on your report is provided at absolutely no cost. But you can also upgrade to the full reports if that's something that you wanted to do. Okay, I'm going to hit on this one more time because this is the only system anywhere that does this. And it really goes to show you the credibility of the Funding Suite. This is the only place that Experian, Dun & Bradstreet, and Equifax live data stream their information into. So that means if you have a new trade line or a new account reported on your Experian Business Credit Report, in real time, through the Funding Suite, you will see that trade line updated. You will see that any information that's added to your report in real time updated right in your Funding Suite. So this interfaces directly with Experian, Dun & Bradstreet, and Equifax, and whenever something changes on your reports with them, so will the information change in your Funding Suite. Now that's amazing. Not only is the technology amazing, but again, it's further amazing because this is the only place on planet Earth that Experian, Dun & Bradstreet, and Equifax live data stream their information into. So it really goes to show you the credibility of the system because this is the only place that you will see Experian, Dun & Bradstreet, and Equifax actually a part of and live data streaming their information right into the system. Okay, so you can even access full business credit reports, as we talked about, increasing your scores with Experian, Equifax, and Dun & Bradstreet. These are actually the pages from the Funding Suite that you will see as you're setting up the Experian, Equifax, and Dun & Bradstreet reports. Okay, I'm actually going to take a step back because you actually will get your DUNS number here at no cost. That's a real big deal. Okay, most people that go to Dun & Bradstreet's going to try to sell you the DUNS number as part of a package, and based on what I've heard, it's usually about $500 to $700 they're going to charge you or try to charge just for the DUNS number. Okay, some people are lucky enough to have not paid for it, but most people, if you go to D&B directly, they're going to try to charge you about $500 to $700 for the DUNS number. Through our system, this is the one place they will absolutely, no questions asked, give you the DUNS number at no cost. So that alone saves a lot of people a lot of money because you don't have to pay D&B $500 to $700 for the DUNS number. You get that for free right through the system on top of being able to access your business credit reports. Okay, so again, the Funding Suite's designed to help you quickly build excellent business credit scores and then use those scores as leverage to secure business funding. And you're guaranteed that you'll be approved for at least $50,000 in business credit. There's a lot of benefits of the Business Funding Suite. One of them is that it's designed and dedicated to help you build an exceptional business credit profile and score for your business. So it could take about 60 days to get you an excellent business credit profile and score. The system then helps you leverage that score to start getting approved for massive amounts of business credit. And when I say massive, I mean we have clients that get $200,000, $250,000 in business credit. The sky is really the limit on how much you can obtain, but a lot of our clients will come in and get $50,000 approved in the first 6 months, and the Business Funding Suite comes with a $50,000 guarantee, guaranteeing that you will be approved for at least $50,000 in business credit. Okay, and you should be able to secure that business credit again within 6 months. A lot of our clients will reach that level in 3 to 4 months. So it depends on how much credit you're applying for and how quickly you're doing it, but you can easily secure $50,000 in 6 months, and a lot of our clients do that well before the 6-month time frame. Okay, your funding suite also helps you ensure that you have the foundation built for business credit approval. So you'll have access to vendor accounts needed to start quickly building a business credit profile. Now, maybe you don't have a lot of knowledge on business credit scores and profiles. And we have webinars, videos, a lot of emails, things that you're going to probably receive with information about that. But to touch base briefly on it, vendors are the key to business credit. And let's talk about business credit real quickly. Business credit is credit in the business name. Because it's credit in the business name, a lot of it you don't need a personal credit check and you don't need a personal guarantee to qualify. Okay? But to start getting approved for business credit, you first must have a few accounts reporting on your credit report, your business credit report, and you must have a business credit score established. That's the catch-22. How can you get credit if you need credit to get the credit? Well, the answer is vendors. Vendors are creditors who will give you credit on terms like net 30, okay, meaning you need to pay them off within 30 days. It's not a revolving account. But these vendors report to the business credit reporting agencies. So through your funding suite, we put you in connection with vendors who will give you credit and who also report to the business credit reporting agencies. Once you have an account set up with them and you use that account to even buy $5 or $10 worth of stuff, they report that account however you paid it, paid as agreed hopefully, to the appropriate business credit reporting agencies, in this case, let's say Dun & Bradstreet, and once that account is reported as paid as agreed to Dun & Bradstreet, you will then have a business credit score. That is how you first get started with what we call a trade line or positive credit account on your business credit report. So through the funding suite, we give you access to a lot of vendors, so you can come in and get 3 to 5 of these accounts, establish an excellent business credit score, then you can use that business credit profile and score to start getting approved for massive amounts of real business credit. So this is a little snippet showing you a breakdown and description of one of the actual companies. So we give you a description of what the company sells, and of course in the actual suite we'll give you the name of each company, tell you what they sell, we tell you who they report to, we give you special codes and the exact criteria to get approved, and the terms that they report for. So all you need to do is you come in, you apply for this account, okay, you follow the instructions that were given you, you apply for the account, you use the account, they report it to Dun & Bradstreet, you have a positive credit score established, and you're on your way to getting approved for business credit. So, we can help you establish excellent business credit profile and scores within 60 days. That means you can easily access, be approved with, and use your initial credit within 30 days. Within 30 days or 60 days, you can then easily have an excellent business credit score of 80 or higher established. An 80 business credit score is about the equivalent of a 720 or 740 personal score. But with a business score, you can quickly pay a few accounts as agreed and establish an excellent score. This is exactly what we just talked about. When you first get started, we start you with vendor accounts in the first 30 days. Then they report, you get a score within 60 days, and within 60 days you can then, with your new score, start actually applying for real credit cards, real credit in the business name. Now an 80 is a good credit score, but all 80 means is that you pay your bills on time. That's all business credit scores are based on. How do you pay your bills? Do you pay them on time? You pay them a week early? You pay them 2 weeks early? You pay them a week late, 2 weeks late? Well, an 80 means you pay as agreed. If you had a 90, it meant you pay within the discount period. If you have 100, that means you paid way early on the account. So as long as you have an 80 or higher, that signifies you pay your business bills as agreed. So you came in, you got a few vendor accounts in 30 days, they report, within 60 days you have an excellent score, now you can start getting approved for massive amounts of real business credit. And this is business credit with major merchants that you do business with right now. Okay, so store credit is available at places like Lowe's and Staples, Home Depot, Chevron, OfficeMax, Walmart, Costco, and many more. Okay, you can actually get store credit at places like BP. You can get it at Sam's Club. There's a lot of different stores, but again, most major merchants that you're doing business with anyways will give you credit in the business name. And again, this is credit with no personal guarantee and no personal credit check. Beyond just store credit, you can also get approved for MasterCards, Visas, American Express cards for $10,000 or higher. So when we talk about business credit, don't think it's just store credit. It is store credit. It's credit that you can use in these stores, just like store credit cards. But it's also MasterCards, Visas, American Express cards that you can use anywhere. And again, this is credit in the business name. So because it's in the business name, that means there's no personal guarantee or credit check required. Okay, this credit is going to be in the business name. So because you're talking about a business credit profile, there's no personal guarantee required and there's no personal credit check. Now, a lot of people hear this and they say that doesn't sound right. Well, yes, it's absolutely right. They don't need to pull your personal credit or make you personally liable for a debt that's clearly in your business name. But if you don't have a business credit profile and score established, that's when they start asking you for a personal guarantee and personal credit check. So through your funding suite, we help you build an excellent business credit score and profile. Then you start qualifying for the credit without a personal credit check and without the personal guarantee. Okay, so you can easily be approved for well over the $50,000 in business credit, even if you have damaged personal credit. And if you have stellar, outstanding, excellent personal credit, then getting business credit will double your borrowing power, because then you have both a personal credit profile and a business credit profile established. Okay, I'm actually going to take a step back here. And so even if you have excellent personal credit, you really still need to have a business credit profile established for these reasons, because it will double your borrowing power. Personal guarantee. Most business owners currently use credit with a personal guarantee, meaning if they ever default on that credit, the creditor can pursue the personal home, bank accounts, investments, and file judgments against assets. This is the one thing no business owner wants, but almost all business owners are basically have that happen. They come in, and when they want credit, they get it in their personal name. They use their personal credit to get credit cards and these type of things. But as we've seen over the last many years in the change in the economy, things in business can change rapidly. And if things go wrong quickly and people start to default, then someone can easily pull down and destroy their personal credit, destroy everything they personally have because something happens with their business. Meaning you come out and you default on a personal credit card, they're going to come after your home. They're going to come after your bank. They're going to serve you with judgments. So you don't want this. You obviously, as a business owner, want the credit to be in the business name. Because if you have no personal guarantee, that means the business takes on the risk, not you personally. Okay, so that keeps your personal finances and family safe and secure. Meaning if you ever default on the business debt, they can come after the business, but they can't touch any of your personal assets. Okay, that is really one of the benefits of having no personal guarantee credit. And again, one of the main benefits you want business credit. Okay, if you have bad credit, business credit's great for you because you could build an excellent business credit profile even with bad credit. But even if you have great personal credit, you still want to build business credit because it doubles your borrowing power, and you could do it without the liability that personal credit will actually give you. And as you continue to be approved and utilize your new credit, your business credit will then grow into truly unsecured credit lines for your business using only your business credit profile and score to qualify. Okay, that is another benefit of business credit. When you have a strong business credit profile, when you have a strong business credit score, then you can then start coming in and getting approved for funding using your business credit to qualify, not your actual personal credit. Okay, now again, and a lot of funding, they still might want to look at your personal credit, but if you have a good, deep personal credit profile built, and I mean deep by meaning you have many trade lines reporting, then you're going to probably qualify for funding without needing a personal guarantee. Not just business credit, but true business funding without a personal guarantee once you have a business credit profile score build. Okay, now the other thing that you're going to see, the other real benefit of the actual funding suite, is that business credit is only one of over 30 funding options available. As I mentioned earlier in this webinar, one of the best things that I personally love, or the best benefits of the business funding suite, is the fact that it comes with every legitimate funding product that's out there today. So you have business credit, but you also have all these other funding programs, SBA loans, unsecured credit lines. We even offer unsecured no-doc credit lines where you don't need to show revenue or financials, equipment financing, retirement plan financing, merchant advances, account receivable financing, equipment sale leaseback, merchant card credit. And again, a lot of these options are available even if you have challenged personal credit. So on top of just business credit, the funding suite gives you access to all these different funding sources. So even if you have a brand new startup business, or even if you have bad personal credit, there are still funding options available through the system which definitely can work for you. There are securities-based loans, inventory loans, house reseller financing for flipping or properties or doing rehab on property, auto fleet leasing to put vehicles in the business name, vehicle wrap and signage leasing. This is where you can come in and get financing to do a graphic vehicle wrap, or you can put up commercial signage. You can even get film producing financing right through the actual funding suite. You're also given immediate pre-approval. So what happens is, in the beginning, you're asked a few initial qualifying questions, and then you know immediately what type of options you're pre-approved for. Then you read the program details, and in one click, all your information is auto-populated from the funding suite into the application, and your application is submitted for approval. So this is how awesome this is. You come in, you complete the funding application. Now remember, when you walk through the funding application, we're explaining to you what the lender is looking for and the criteria you must meet to get approved. Now you complete the funding application, and this application is automatically submitted and cross-checked against hundreds of financing guidelines. Then you're immediately pre-qualified for the programs you qualify for. So they'll give you a description like you see here. This is an actual program, purchase order financing. And it will explain to you the program, and in one click you can proceed to the application. Then all the information you entered will auto-populate on that funding application, and in one more click you submit the application for actual approval. Okay, and again, you already know you meet the lending criteria before you apply, so you know you'll be approved. Remember, when you were walking through and completing the application, we made sure that you met that criteria. Now, as long as you entered the correct information in the system when you were setting up your business, now it pre-qualifies you. So you already know your business meets the criteria. You know you now qualify, so you know you're going to be able to get approved. And many funding sources will approve you with no personal guarantee and deliver funds to your bank account within 24 hours. Many of the funding sources have no personal guarantee, and the ones that do require a personal guarantee, many of those will not require it once we build the business credit profile and score. Okay, and there are funding sources. Some of them will take a few weeks. Some of them can deliver money as soon as 24 to 48 hours. Okay, and again, this is another little snippet talking to you about one of the funding programs that's actually being approved for, that you can actually qualify for. Okay, so another thing that we'll go into is easy credit. Many sources don't require a personal credit check, while other sources have very lenient credit score requirements. Let me give you some examples here. Let's say you're a business that has receivables, right? Well, if you have receivables, they're not even really going to look at your credit. They don't even really care about your credit at all. Let's say you're a business that's been operating and you have revenue. Well, you can qualify for business revenue lending with even low 500 credit scores, so you don't even need to have average credit to qualify. Some of the programs, obviously, unsecured, no-doc credit line type of programs, you're going to need pretty good credit to qualify. But other programs, if you have business assets, business collateral, business cash flow, you're going to still be able to qualify for funding even when you don't have the best of personal credit. Okay, plus, you can also get easy step-by-step tutorials to help with the business credit quickly, building, audio and video tutorials with every aspect of the funding suite to walk you through step-by-step, even workbooks to help you on obtaining venture capital or starting a business, or even how to prepare a successful funding request. Okay, the system also comes with your own funding coach. So your business funding coach works side by side with you to get you approved in the money in your bank. They help you select the best funding programs, they handle your application and paperwork, they work with you to ensure you're approved and receive funds. This is awesome. The Funding Suite is the only place in the world that you will find both certified and trained business credit and business funding coaches. Your business funding coach, when you submit the application in your Funding Suite, it will go right to your funding advisor. Your funding advisor then calls you up and says, hey, what are you trying to do? I see you applied here for this unsecured credit line. What are you looking for? And you say, well, Mr. Funding Advisor, I want $100,000 for my business. And the funding advisor says, no problem. We can get you $150,000 with this credit line. This is what I need you to do to get approved. You do the couple things, you get the funding advisor what they need. The funding advisor then goes to the bank and works with the bank to secure your approval and follows the process all the way through until the money is in your bank account. So you literally have your own personal funding advisor in your corner to walk you through, explain all the programs, answer any questions in regards to rates, fees, terms, how quick money can be delivered, those type of things. Will help you choose the best funding option and will work with you with all aspects of working with that bank to help secure your money. Okay? And that's one of the reasons, and I'm actually going to take a step back here, because even though I mention here the funding coach, we don't mention in this webinar anything about the business credit coaches, and the system does come with your own personal business credit coach too. So you have a business credit coach also that will help you through all aspects of building business credit. They will help you with obtaining your reports, with building your Paydex and your IntelliScore and your business credit scores. They will help you with getting approved for the trade lines and the vendor accounts, and they will help answer any questions you have on getting approved for the actual business credit. Okay, so all these reasons combined is really why this is the ultimate funding solution. Okay, I mean, this is the ultimate solution for your business for all of these reasons. You come in, you have a system that will walk you through step by step, make sure that you meet the criteria as you're completing the application. When you submit your application or when you complete your application, it's automatically submitted to hundreds of different lenders, and overall there are thousands of lenders that are plugged in. Okay, so it's sent to all these different financing institutions, cross-check against their guidelines. You then receive immediate pre-qualification, so you know right away all the programs you pre-qualify for, and you already know you met the criteria when you were completing the funding application to get approved. Okay, you then have access to your own funding advisor that helps you navigate those funding options and helps you get approved for funding even as soon as 24 to 48 hours. You're plugged into every legitimate funding source that's out there today, from unsecured credit lines to SBA loans up to $5 million. You can get AR factoring up to $25 million. You can get credit lines that are unsecured no doc for $150,000. You can get working capital credit lines for $250,000. You can get business revenue lending and equipment financing and merchant card credit. A lot of the funding is designed for people that have credit issues. So all these things are combining to make this the massive powerhouse funding suite that it is. And all of that literally only gets you started. Then you start the process of building business credit right through the funding suite. You have your own designated business credit coach to help you every step of the way. You can access your business credit reports and your basic business credit report data at absolutely no cost. You can even get your DUNS number through Dun & Bradstreet at absolutely no cost. We help you establish an excellent business credit score within 60 days using vendor accounts, which are very hard to find, but we've given you direct access to them. And within 60 days, you have an excellent business credit score. You can then start coming in and accumulating massive amounts of business credit, even up to $200,000, $250,000 or higher in business credit, including credit in places like Staples, Lowe's, Home Depot, Shell, BP, Costco, Walmart, and also MasterCards, Visas, and American Express cards for $10,000 and higher that you could use anywhere. Plus, you have all of the workbooks that we showed you that are available to help you prepare funding requests, help you get your business started. All of that with a $50,000 guarantee, where we give you a guarantee that you will receive at least $50,000 in business credit. Okay, so again, you're guaranteed you're going to get approved for at least $50,000 in business credit and have access to over 30 complete funding sources. whole system, as you've seen. It's really designed to ensure you get approved and can quickly build business credit scores so you can obtain even more unsecured funding in the future too. Okay, so again, more reasons that this is really, really a phenomenal system for you. So I really hope you enjoyed this webinar. We are more than willing to do a live walkthrough of the funding suite with you. Get in touch with us. Reach out to us by email, by phone, and we will talk with you. We will get on a webinar and we will walk you through the funding suite with just you and us. We will explain to you and show you in real time the actual system. We will show you the actual steps, everything we went over. You'll get to see actually firsthand through the portal. And we can even talk to you more about your scenario, your business, what you're trying to accomplish, and talk to you more about this specific funding products and what they can deliver to you. Okay, so that way you don't guess, can this help you? Well, in a quick webinar, we can explain it to you. We can show it to you. We can show you the exact funding products that you can qualify for. We'll show you the exact business credit sources you can qualify for. We'll show all this to you in a webinar, answer every question you have, and again, talk to you more about how this can help your individual business, how quickly you can obtain money, how much money you could probably secure, all those type of things we could talk to you about and go over in another real one-on-one webinar. If you want to see the system live, please reach out to us and let us know. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this webinar. You know, there's a few important notes I want to throw out there as I conclude here. Keep in mind, the Business Funding Suite is the only system in the world that has certified business credit and funding coaches. It's the only place where you're going to see a live interface with Experian, Dun & Bradstreet, and Equifax, showing the credibility of the system and helping you monitor your credit in real time as you're building the business credit. And I think that when you look, you would agree that the Funding Suite has more funding options and business credit sources than you will find anywhere out there today, and with a $50,000 guarantee, with a guarantee that you're going to get approved for at least $50,000 in business credit. We've really created a system with you with this kind of technology and that kind of guaranteed, where it makes a lot of sense to help you in your business build a business credit asset, obtain business funding, and have access to more funds than you even know what to do with you and your business. So again, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this webinar. Please let us know if you'd like to learn more about the Funding Suite, or if you'd like to have a one-on-one walkthrough and learn more about what the Funding Suite can do to help you specifically in your business. Thanks again for attending this webinar.